Let me quickly take you through what the global markets look like. Let's start with the US markets, and stock futures were flat on Sunday evening as Wall Street looked to see if the market rally could find more momentum in the final week of June. Now, futures tied to the Dow Jones Industrial Average ticked up 55 points or less than 0.2%, and S&P 500 futures and Nasdaq 100 futures were also higher by roughly the same percent. Last week ended a winning streak for all three major averages. Now, the Dow fell 1.6%, breaking a 3-week winning streak. The S&P 500 fell a little bit more than a percent, ending a 5-week winning streak. And the Nasdaq composite fell 1.4%, snapping an 8-week winning streak. It was the worst week for all three indices since March, but all three indices still closed above the 200-day and 50-day moving averages. So that's a slight bit of a positive coming there. Shifting focus to Europe then, and European stock markets closed lower on after 4 sessions of declines. The Stock 600 index closed 0.3% lower, with most sectors in the negative territory, and oil and gas stocks took the biggest losses and they fell 2.2% as oil prices traded lower, and mining stocks dropped 1.7%. Healthcare and telecom stocks led modest gains, each closing 0.7% higher respectively. Now, Siemens Energy, which is the spin-off of the German conglomerate, plunged 37% after ditching its profit outlook for the year because of issues in its wind turbine division. So, slight bit of a negative coming there from the European markets. But this is what the global handover looked like. Harsh, take us through what crude looked like over the weekend.
Well, yes, absolutely. And, crude doesn't look much different. You're still seeing crude pretty subdued in trade. And, we saw the Bank of England hike rates, larger hike than expected, 50 basis points late last week. We will have the Fed meet as well this week. And really, that's putting a lid on crude oil prices. What we're therefore seeing is that WTI is at just below $70 a barrel, and we're seeing Brent sub $75 a barrel, even though I can see a wee bit of a recovery in early trade today. So that's a bit of a positive, for crude markets. But nonetheless, we're seeing crude absolutely in a tough spot. We're seeing oil, in fact, up around 0.75% in early trade today. But other than that, we've seen a tough week for crude last week, and it doesn't look to be getting any better this week either, with the Fed meet coming through as well.